Good evening, Northern Colorado. This is N0NYY, Bart. I am in Evans, Colorado, and I will be net control for this evening's NCARC TechNet, letting all the chimes and the clock settle down for a moment here. So, the NCARC TechNet exists for the purpose of allowing both newcomers and experienced hams to ask questions of a technical nature. If there's something in the back of your mind that you've always wondered about, this is an ideal opportunity to get an answer. If there's something new that you're wondering about, this is a good opportunity to get an answer. There's usually a large number of very experienced hams on the air for the net this evening. I'm a little under the weather today, so if I sound dazed and confused, it's because I'm dazed and confused. We do have COVID in the house, so that'll go away quickly. While club membership in the NCARC is always recommended, you do not have to be a member to participate in the net. You do not have to be a member of any particular agency. You do have to be a licensed ham with privileges on the UHF bands. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergency or priority traffic. If you have such, say the word break, and we will suspend the net until your traffic is completed. We will take check-ins for the purpose of counting attendance, seeing how many people show up. Nice to know. Checkouts are never required. All traffic should go through net control. And when we take check-ins, I will take them in groups of 3. I will get 3 check-ins. I will acknowledge those 3. I will move on to the next group. If you attempted to check in on a certain group and you did not hear me read back your call sign, it is likely that you doubled with somebody else and I didn't hear you, so go ahead and try again. I would like to have check-ins with your call alphabetically, N0NYY, your call phonetically, November 0, November Yankee Yankee, your name, and your location. Again, I am Bart, and I am located in Evans, just on the south side of Greeley. I'm not going to worry about the various suffixes. We'll just go ahead and get going with the check-ins. So, first group of 3, go ahead and call net control now. And remember, I'm having to write this all down. Don't speak at your normal speaking velocity when you give me your call sign. Say it slow enough that I can copy it down. First group of check-ins, go ahead, please.
This is
K0MLG, Kilowatt 0, Mike, Lima, Golf, Marty, near Wellington, almost.
AF7MO, Alpha Foxtrot 7, Mike, Oscar, Roger, Windsor.
This is QI, Kilo, Foxtrot 0, Golf, Quebec, India, Doc, and Pierce.
We'll hold there. Net would like to acknowledge K0MLG, AF7MO, KF0GQI. Next group of 3, go ahead, please.
This is K3SAD, Kilo 3, Sierra Alpha Delta, George and Windsor, no traffic.
AE0KO, Alpha 0 Kilo Oscar, Brad and Wellington.
K0HAK, Kilo 0, Hotel, Alpha, Kilo, Dave in Fort Collins.
Okay, we'll break there. Net would like to acknowledge K3SAD, AE0KO, K0HAK. AE0KO, you had a peculiar noise on your signal. I'm not sure if it was a double. Can I get your name and location again, please?
Sure, this is Brad. I'm in Wellington.
Okay, Brad, you still have it. It's a very peculiar buzzing on your signal, and you're a little bit light into the repeater, but I was able to copy. Next group of 3, go ahead, please.
Kilo, Foxtrot 0, Oscar, Charlie, Whiskey, Adrian in Fort Collins.
This is N0EMP, November 0, Echo Mike Papa, Greg in Fort Collins, with Debbie, K0DBE, Kilo 0, Delta Bravo Echo. One announcement.
This is KB0YDN,
Kilo Bravo 0 Yankee Delta November. Eric, mobile, heading to Pinewood Lake.
All right, we'll break there. KF0OCW, N0EMP, K0DBE, and KB0YDN. All four acknowledged. Next group of three, go ahead, please. I'd like to acknowledge, Greg, I got your announcement there. Next group of three, go ahead.
This is K5SGC, Kilo 5 Sierra Gulf Charlie. Dave in Fort Collins.
This is Kilo 0 Lima Echo Echo K0LEE Lee in Greeley.
Whiskey 0 India Kilo Lima. Whiskey 0 India Kilo Lima. Paul in Fort Collins.
All right, we'll break there. I would like to acknowledge K5SGC, K0LEE, W0IKL. Next group of three, go ahead, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Golf Quebec Hotel, KF0 GQH, Kent in Wellington.
Kilo Golf 6 Oscar Bravo Charlie. Justin mobile.
W5VV Whiskey 5 Victor Victor Bill in Livermore.
Okay, we'll take a break there. Gonna ask again, slow down with your call signs. It's kind of hard to write that fast sometimes. Now would like to acknowledge KF0GQH, KG0OBC, W5 Victor Victor. Next group of three, go ahead, please.
KD0EXB, Kilo Delta 0, Echo X-Ray Victor, Brian Greeley.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 0, Oscar Mike Uniform, KF0 OMU, Jack in Windsor. No traffic for the night.
That would like to acknowledge KD0EXV, good evening, Brian, KF0OMU, Jack. Somebody doubled with Brian, and I did not get your call sign because Brian won completely. Was there another call there? Go ahead, that I didn't acknowledge.
Sorry, that was me. This is E0CF Alpha Echo 0 Charlie Foxtrot Ben Fort Collins.
Very good, Ben. Gotcha. Next group of three, go ahead.
This is KF0 ODO, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Oscar Delta Oscar, Craig in Windsor. No traffic.
All right. Well, KF0ODO, Craig acknowledged. We'll leave a break here, let the repeater drop. If anyone would like to check in on Echolink at this time, please go ahead and call after the repeater drop. And this is N0NYY Net Control for this evening's NCARC TechNet. Looking for any Echolink check-ins. Go ahead. Alrighty, nothing heard from Echolink. Any other check-ins for this evening? By the way, late check-ins are certainly welcome at any time. No problem. Not everybody gets here right at time to check in, so no problem with late check-ins. Any others, go ahead and call Net Control now. All right, once again, we'll take late check-ins if need be. N0EMP, you have an announcement. Go ahead, Greg.
Thank you, Bart. We do a ham radio lunch every other week at the Perkins on West Eisenhower in Loveland. Kick off around 11:30 in the morning, although people usually start showing up about 11:10 or so. This week is that week. Again, I said it's every other week. This is the week for the Loveland Perkins ham lunch. Mark Clark, W2MIC, who has passed away, was a big proponent of this lunch at Perkins. Previously, the lunch was in Fort Collins at Farmer's Table, or Farmer's Inn. I get those two confused. And Charlie Brown, KF0CB, was the masthead of that lunch. He's also passed away. So tomorrow, 11:30, Perkins. I don't have to be a ham to attend. Don't have to be licensed. It's kind of a TechNet with food. So this Wednesday, N0EMP.
At 2222 West Eisenhower, which is Highway 34. Just look for what I believe is the tallest flagpole in Loveland. Any questions for Greg about the luncheon this week? One of the things that sometimes happens at that luncheon is people will bring interesting toys for show and tell. And since it's just after Christmas, anybody got any handy little neato Christmas presents you want to bring and show off to a bunch of ham radio operators, this is your opportunity to do so. Also, I used to keep track of how many years of radio and ham radio experience we had show up at the luncheon. Talk about an opportunity to answer questions. We have guys that have been there up to 60, been hams up to 60 or 70 years. And we have taken added up a tally of the years of radio experience, and 300 to 500 years total experience is not uncommon at that lunch. It's a great opportunity to see some of the people you hear, ask your questions, have some good conversations. Oh, and get lunch, by the way. I recommend it highly.
SAD comments?
Always try to attend. Unfortunately, we have COVID in the house. Gene is fortunately much better. I am on the current downswing, which is why I'm having so much trouble keeping my thoughts in order tonight. But if I'm over and done and can test negative Wednesday morning, I will be at the luncheon. Otherwise, I will have to miss this one in the interest of public safety. All right. Does anyone have any ham radio related questions, topics for discussions that they would like to bring forward this evening? Please call Net Control now. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Jump in. This is an opportunity where people are seeking to help you out if you need it.
This is KD0TYU or Kilo Delta Zero Tango Yankee Uniform Joey in Loveland. Late check-in, and also I do have a question.
KD0TYU, Joe in Loveland. I got you, only because I know you. That was pretty fast. And I'm pretty slow. Go ahead, Joe. You have the floor.
It's up really good.
Joe, that was zero copy. Zero copy. You are not holding the repeater. Check your power or your antenna. I know we've been having some issues with the repeater due to the wind, but that was uncharacteristically weak. Check your power, see if you can bring it up and try again. Go ahead, Joe.
Let me swap out radios. Maybe that's it.
Okay, you were still a little noisy, but I did copy that if you want to give it a try.
My question was, I have what they call a super antenna. And there's nothing super about it, but it is kind of a more expensive version of the Roof River coil. Works fine. Had it for about a year now, but can you do NVIS with that particular antenna?
I would try it to see. NVIS is typically horizontally polarized, but because that's a compromised antenna, your radiation is going to probably be somewhat randomized. We haven't typically had great luck with verticals that I recall. Greg, do you have any additional input on that? Assuming, of course, you were running it in vertical polarization.
And Zero AMP, let me make sure I got this. Yep, so first of all, I've been watching the repeater input during this net because we have been having some problems, and the weak carrier with Joe is on his end. He's not even showing up on my waterfall. So the problem with Joe getting into the repeater is on Joe's end of the link tonight. NVIS is typically 80, 60, or 40 meters, and you have to radiate up. The N and the V and the I in the word NVIS stand for near vertical incidence, which is a fancy way of saying almost straight up. So a vertical antenna radiates typically out to the sides. So you would have to get that up off the ground and turn it sideways, and then it would need some kind of ground plane for you to even hope to have it work. But at that point it might work for you, but it's got to be horizontal. N0 EMP.
I think next time we do an NVIS test, we should try it with the vertical antennas too, like the ham sticks, just to see. Seems like we might have, but I honestly don't remember. Joe, did you get an answer there, and do you need any additional information?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're okay. If I put that in a horizontal position, why would I need ground rod?
If it's like a Wolf River coil, when you have it vertically, I believe it's typically sitting on the ground, and or there's some ground radials going out below it. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And they're all part of the deal. It's not anything you. In other words, it's kind of they're kind of built into the machine. You buy it with those.
All right, so you get it 8 feet off the ground and turn it horizontally. You're still going to need some kind of ground radial system.
That'd be worth a try. Is this signal any better?
It is.
Okay, I got a switch that's screwed up here, so sorry about that, guys. Well, thanks so much. Back to net.
Yep, now you're back to the typical Joe signal. Very good. All right, any other, let's see, any other questions or comments on Joe's subject there?
Hey, Zersiff.
Go ahead, Ben.
On topic of these verticals turned into a NVIS by turning on the side, would it be advantageous to instead of base loading, you put the coil at the end and make it end loaded instead? Easier to see.
It's an interesting idea, Ben, but I don't know actually what you mean physically.
Well, the concern is since that normally when you have a vertical antenna, you don't want to have a big heavy weight at the top, which is not very stable. Turning on the side no longer becomes an issue. So yeah, it's just I think that would be an interesting thing to do if you wanted to use a vertical tipped over.
I sense a whole new round of testing coming about, and I think that will be fun to do.
Alrighty, AE0CF back to net.
Alrighty, do we have any people any late check-ins for the net? Please call net control now.
K0AZA, Ron in Fort Collins, late check-in.
Good evening, Ron. Got you in there. Okay. Do we have any other subjects, topics, or questions for the net this evening? This is N0NYY Net Control for this evening's Monday night NCARC TechNet.
YDM.
YDM, go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to further comment on the Wednesday lunch at Perkins. The gentleman who checked in last Wednesday with a GMRS license, by all means, come down and meet the group. You're probably going to be taking a test from them soon. And as far as your GMRS license goes, there are a lot of us out there with both licenses, and we both participate. And that subject was a topic of some discussion this weekend on our net. KB0YDM, back to net.
Thank you, Eric. In addition to Eric, I have a GMRS, and I know several other hams do as well. Any other questions or topics for the net this evening? I don't mind having a short net. I am in miserable shape tonight. And I will say this. You can get on this repeater just about any time and find somebody. I know Tobin used to come on with, give his call sign, say, I have a question, and unkey. And there's usually people listening, and you can usually get an answer. You don't have to wait for TechNet. We also have a list of Elmers on the club website who are happy to help. I believe you can contact them through the website, ncarc.net, and Hams are some of the most helpful people I know. Most of us love to share and are willing to help others out. Don't ever feel silly about asking a question, because we all have questions as we come up through. So, I will say, oh, wait a minute here. Let me get a count. We have 22, including myself, checked in this evening. Very good net. I'd like to thank everybody for checking in. And I'll say 7-3, and hopefully see you all Wednesday. If not, we'll see you at the next ham lunch. This is N0NYY, net control for this evening's NCARC TechNet, returning the repeater to normal service. Have a good evening, one and all.
This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. For more information, visit our website, ncarc.net. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.